Hey guys, welcome back to Pokemon DnD with the Exodus Dominion. I am TattedSith, joined by American Warbird and Azrael. Guys, in the last episode, we each got a Mon. So let's go ahead and start with Azrael. Take us through what happened in the episode last for you.
Well, we were making camp. Ended up taking watch, and I encountered a Pokemon. It seemed to be a Oddish.
Uh-huh.
I went ahead and had my Ghastly, also known as Spirit, to do battle with it. And I did catch this said Oddish, and now the name of my Oddish is named Radish.
It's such a basic name for a weed, but I love it.
Yeah.
American Warbird, what happened for you?
Well, I had closer to the morning shift of the watch, and I decided to explore around with Luna, and we came across a Smeargle painting, and we met the Smeargle that was painting, and it had us battle it, and it became part of our team. If you look at that part of the screen near TattedSith, should be a image of my Smeargle, and his name is Pierre.
Pierre, very French.
Oh,
Oui. That deserves a little. Yes, you got the very cocky Smeargle. And then for Caleb, my character, kind of got a little nitty gritty with a Poliwag, and almost slapped the crap out of my Roly Goly or Burnout. But I ended up naming my Poliwag Kermit. Yeah, that's kind of leaning towards of what the Pokemon I want it to be when it evolves fully.
I think I know what it is.
A lot of people go one route. I kind of want to go a different route with him, but we'll see. All right, I think Kermit's a boy. I think this Kermit's a male. I made it yes. But anyways, so last episode we were traveling along Route 1. Before Wolf actually Wolf and Luna actually heard a cry for help and followed it and found a Spinnerack keeping a lady cornered by a tree, and they went in to fight it, and Luna KO'd it with a nasty headbutt. But when Wolf decided to throw a Pokeball at it, the Spinnerack burst out with sheer willpower and scurried off. So Wolf could have had 2 Pokemon, but
I really wanted that Spinnerack.
the fates did not agree. But anyways, she did tell us that at that time that the town that we were headed towards was only maybe 12 miles up the road or so. Technically, right now, Telmont City is about 5 miles away. So we are almost there. It is early morning, guys. And we are packing up the camp right now. All of our Pokemon are in their balls except for Luna. Luna is currently running around the camp as we are picking up our bags. As we're walking, we are on Route 1 back to Telmont, headed towards Telmont City. And what do you guys do as we are walking the last 5 miles?
I am checking my Pokédex with all the Pokemon I have discovered so far, and just basically going through that, and looking through all the accessories that is on this Pokédex.
Okay.
What about you, Wolf?
I actually have Luna in my arms, and I remembered that I didn't heal Luna up after the fight with Pierre, so I'm giving Luna a orangeberry at the time.
So as we're walking and stuff, you're feeding Luna an oranberry. Um, she's eating it slowly as we're making pace. As we come across this like hill on the road, we see Telmont City a mere 2 miles ahead of us. But at the top of the hill, there's also a crossing. We go straight for Telmont City, and then there's a sign that points to the left, and that actually points towards what is called Sybil Forest. Um, Sybil Forest is a very expansive forest that actually was the forest that we were in before was a small little tidbit of Sybil Forest that had been cut through to make a path, so it's no longer connected to the rest of the forest. But Sybil Forest is actually towards the west of Telmont City and covers a very good portion of the southern part of the map. But anyways, we take note of the fact that the routes assumably leading to Route 2. It does say Route 2 on the sign, but it also says heading towards Sybil Forest. So we take note of that's probably where we're going to have to go next after Telmont City. We make our way a little bit further down, and we have a ride at Telmont City. Telmont City is it's like a very cozy town. Since that there is a bunch of obviously a bunch of woodcraft around. The people are very friendly. There's a bunch of grass types running around with people and everything. Bug types and stuff as well. Um, and at the very center of the town, there's a giant clock tower. Thing about the clock tower, though, is that it looks like it has been webbed over.
Interesting.
There is as we are entering through the main streets from Route 1 to Telmont City. Telmont City branches off into 3 different roads within the city that kind of like circulates, and one goes up the middle, some go around sides. There is to the right. There is the Pokemon Center off that road. On the left, there is a Pokemart. Towards the center, if you walk down the center of the path, the clock tower is dead center in the middle of the town. And then there's a bunch of housing, bunch of wood crafting stores. There's a peculiar shop there that sells like weird Poke dolls and stuff like that. But yeah, as we enter, there's a bunch of kids running around, just playing tag, all that stuff with like local Pokemon. But as we do, Caleb kind of looks at you guys, and he kind of looks at you, and he's like, "I think we should probably head towards the Pokemon Center first, just so that we can get there, heal up the Pokemon, and make a game plan of what we're going to do in Telmont City." How's that sound to you guys?
Sounds good to me.
That sounds good. Spirit could use a little bit of healing.
Okay. So you guys make your way to the Pokemon Center in Telmont City. Like I said, it's on the right path. As we enter into the Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy is sitting behind the counter with a Chansey. She kind of like gives like a little bow, as Nurse Joys do, as courtesy. There's other people within the Pokemon Center just waiting on their Pokemon to be healed. To the left of the registration desk where Nurse Joy is, there is a PC, a Pokemon storage unit, and then on the right side there is 5 computers that you can make phone calls on and whatnot. So at this time, Caleb makes his way directly for Nurse Joy and talks to her and tells her about the Pokemon battles and hands her 3 Pokeballs for his 3 Pokemon for them to get healed. What are you two going to do while we are in the Pokemon Center?
I decide to head over to the phones and let my mom know that we made it to Telmont City, so she can let y'all's moms know.
Okay.
I'm
Izaya.
probably looking for someone that has a maybe a broader range of the town, uh, maybe like a map or something. So I'm trying to find uh, maps, anything that could lead to maybe rare, better or rare Pokemon,
Okay.
or any
So
rumors of any Pokemon.
So there is actually a map of the town inside the Pokemon Center. It's on the wall. It's to the right of Nurse Joy, and it kind of like gives like little like key details of where important buildings are. It shows you the Pokemon Center, the Pokemon Mart, the little gift shop, and it points towards the clock tower, and it says Telmont Clock Tower Gym underneath of it, indicating that the clock tower itself is gym. Um, Other than that, it shows Civil Forest off to the west, and it shows a mountain range off to the right that is Ordic Mountains, Ordic like ore and stuff like that.
Oh,
But there is no clear entry to Ordic Mountains from Telmont City. Um, Other than that, that's pretty much all it says. It just defines a few important shops and the gym and stuff. Um, Nurse Joy comes back out and she hands Caleb his Pokemon, the Pokeballs and everything. Caleb says thank you, and he kind of goes over to the computers and he goes to give a call to Professor Rosewood, so that he can let her know that the group has made it to Telmont City. Things are well. Professor Rosewood picks up and she seems happy and everything. And she tells us that Katrina has actually made her way towards Telmont City, but will not be stopping at Telmont City. She's going to be heading off to Steel Cove. Steel Cove will be later on. But after you get off the phone with your mom, what do you do, Wolf?
Uh, I guess I'd go look at the map to see places to get potions and food that we could take with us on our journey.
Okay. And you'll walk over there and you see where the Pokemart is. It's basically exactly where the Pokemon Center is, but on the opposite side of the town. So that's where we're going to get our supplies. And if you want to make conversation about that, you can. Uh, but that is where we will be going. So Izaya, after you have scoured the map, what do you do?
I am going to go to. That was actually a good thing that he actually said that. I'm going to go to the Pokemart, and I'm going to have a look at Pokeballs, the prices on Pokeballs, and the prices on orange berries, if they have any orange berries.
Okay.
If not, potions.
All right. So after everyone's done and stuff, we all talk a little bit longer in the Pokemon Center, not too long, about maybe like 15 minutes more. And then we make our way outside and we begin to head towards the Pokemart. As we walk through the streets, we see some people like look at us and they look very curious. Um, but they don't really talk to us except for like a few people that are at their like stalls and stuff trying to like haggle us into coming looking at their merchandise and whatnot. But they're just average salespeople. They're not really selling anything important to us. Um, as we get to the Pokemart, we enter and there's shelves and shelves upon medicine, food, drinks, all kinds of stuff. Um, and the guy at the counter, he just kind of like gives us a wave, and he says, "Welcome," and he said if there's anything that he can help us find, just to let him know. So, with that being said, what do you guys do as we have entered the Pokemon?
I go ahead and look at this their stock of potions and Pokeballs.
Okay.
Question. uh, in this uh, adventure, is there different types of Pokeballs, like Great Balls or anything that are
Of
in this
course.
at all?
Of
Of
course.
course.
All right. Well,
Uh, at this shop, there are only Pokeballs and Great Balls. However,
there are Great Balls here.
there are Great Balls too.
I would probably like to go see how much those actually cost.
Okay. So you go and look at the Pokeballs and everything. You take note of the prices. Regular Pokeballs are $20 a piece, and the Great Balls are $30 a piece.
Right. Hmm.
While
I'll
he's looking
probably
at
buy.
no. Okay. Well, just make yourself a little shopping list. So what is Wolf doing as we are in the Poke Mart?
I'm looking at the potions in the Pokemon.
Okay. So you get to the potions. You notice that there are potions. There are no super potions or anything like that. It's just regular potions, antidotes. There's a few paralyzed heals left over, um, stuff like that. They have a few burn heals and ice heals as well. Um, Everything that is on the healing section is just priced at $25 a bottle.
I go ahead and grab 2 potions.
Okay. All right. Do you guys grab anything else? Do you guys go look at food or anything, or drinks, or are you guys content with what you have right now?
I will go ahead
Well,
and also look at food and drinks.
Okay.
I would probably look at food and drinks as well. Uh, I got about $75 worth uh, from my battles, and I'm probably going to spend at least 60 on 2 Great Balls, and then the other 15 for food and water.
Okay. Okay. So we all go over to the food and stuff. We see there's a bunch of fruits, veggies. There's a bunch of like snack packs. Um, the food is relatively cheap. Each fruit is $1. Bottles of water are $1. Soda pops are $2. And then snack packs are $3. Snack packs are full meals already prepped, like Lunchables and stuff like that.
I'll go ahead and grab 5 snack packs and 8 each of the fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How much did you say the snack packs were?
I
$3
believe.
each.
Yeah.
$1 each?
3.
3.
30?
3.
3? Oh, okay. So I'm going to buy. Let's see, so okay, so I'm going to buy at least probably 3 of those snack packs.
Okay.
So, and then consumables such as water. How much is water bottles?
$1.
$1.
$1 a bottle.
All right, and I'm probably going to buy so 3, 6, 9, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to probably buy 5 bottles of water.
Okay.
That would deplete me of everything when it comes to money.
Fair enough. Um, Caleb, he only has like $20 on him because he hasn't battled anyone, and that's all he had. So I'm gonna buy like 5 bottles of water. Uh, I'm gonna buy like 3 snack packs.
Quick question, how much were fruits and vegetables?
$1 each. let's see here. 5. So that leaves me with like $6. So I think I will grab a few apples. Probably. I'll probably grab like 3 apples. Uh, I still have a bag of jerky, and so I have like $2 left over or something like that. So I'll probably. I'll probably just keep that. Be sure to keep track of your money and everything. And then make sure you just keep track of everything that you purchase. With that being said, put that there.
There you go.
All right. Boom, like that. Okay. All right. So we've all purchased our stuff. The shopkeeper is very happy because we bought quite a bit of stuff. After that, we all leave, and people are just walking around town and whatnot. Caleb kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, "Well, we're in Telmont City, so what do you guys want to do while we're here?"
Well, is there a gym around here? Maybe we can go
Caleb
against.
Caleb thinks back, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure I saw a gym on the map. It looked like it was near the bell or the clock tower in the center of the town."
That is correct.
So he kind of looks at you guys. He's like, "You guys want to go check it out?"
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we make our way through the town and everything. People are still trying to like get us to go to the shops and stuff. And I was like, "Man, we just bought a lot of stuff." Takes about 10 minutes to get to the center of the town, and we finally get there, and we come to the clock tower and the gym. It says gym at the base of it at the door. There's spider webs everywhere. And there's a guy standing out front, and he looks at us, and he's like, "Are you guys gym challengers?" Caleb will like nod at him, like, "Yeah, I am, and I believe Izaya is as well." Um, and the guy's like, "Oh, that's good to hear. We haven't had any gym challengers come through here in a few days, but unfortunately, the gym is closed at the moment. The gym leader is currently out in Civil Forest trying to take care of a bug Pokemon issue."
Okay
Um,
then.
what do you guys say?
Well, I would probably ask Caleb if he wants to go there and uh, see if we can find him out there, or if he wants to go back and we can wait a day and wait for him to come back.
Okay. Caleb kind of like gives a shrug, and he like looks back to the man. He's like, "Can you tell us about the gym leader?" And the guy kind of nods. He's like, "I could." And he says, "What do you guys want to know about the gym leader?"
What does he have a certain type of Pokemon that he uses, like a grass type, or I mean, I try to get as much information I can get on some of people's Pokemon to get an upper edge.
The guy gives a nod. He's like, "Well, she uses bug type Pokemon. They call her the Queen of the Spiders. She's very akin to bug type Pokemon, which is why she's the one to always go into the forest and deal with problems. And other times, she's just out there for the fun of it because she feels more at home in the forest with her Pokemon." he kind of like looks to everyone. He's like, "You guys have any other questions about her?"
Can you at least give
Uh,
us her name?
He gives a nod and he's like, "Her name's Cindy."
does she have that?
He kind of like raises a brow at you. He's like, "What was that?"
Nothing. Nothing. I was trying to clear my throat.
He he kind of like just like gives you like the side eye and he's like, "Uh huh, I see." He's like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna she's gonna run all over you in that regard." But he kind of like shrugs and he's like, "Sybil Forest is out to the west. If you follow the trail back out and go to the right or towards the west, Sybil Forest is right there, and it covers up most of the southern region." Uh, and with that, he kind of like just like leans back on the door as he keeps guard at his post. Uh, Caleb kind of looks over to you guys and says, "So, what do you think we should do?"
I suggest we head over to the forest and go find her. With all these, she said guy said that she goes there to feel more comfortable around the insect Pokemon. Perhaps there are some insects there we can catch while we're there as well.
I'm all for seeing more Pokemon and possibly making more friends.
Caleb gives a nod. He's like, "Yeah, I could deal with that. I definitely could deal with that." So everyone is in agreement of going to Civil Forest, and the group decides to head out. Uh, Another about hour passes by before they get back to the road sign. Um, right now it's about noon. And the road sign points towards Route 2, Civil Forest further along. So the group decides to make their way down to Route 2 and head towards Civil Forest. It takes another like hour maybe to get to the edge of the forest. It looks big from the outside and everything, but it's actually quite a long road to get to Civil Forest. Route 2 itself, it expands all the way on the east side of Civil Forest, and it comes out on the west side of Civil Forest as well. So that is good to know about Route 2. Um, as we come approach the forest looks very dense, very dark, and kind of gives off like a spooky vibe. Um, as you approach it, you hear like the weird sounds of like bug Pokemon and other Pokemon within the forest and everything. Caleb kind of looks at you guys and he asks, "Are you guys ready to go inside and check it out?"
On second thought, I think we might want to just turn around just because he's just creeped out of this forest.
Izaya, we're going to be going through this forest anyway when we go through Route 2, so might as well.
Uh, we have to.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Uh, Wolf, give me a charisma intimidation roll.
3d10s.
Let me look at your sheet real quick. Let's see. Doom, 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 doom. Let's see here. You don't seem to have intimidation.
I don't have intimidation. I do
Nope.
have.
So
I do have
you
2
just
in
have
charisma.
yeah, you do have 2 in charisma. So you go ahead and just give me the 2d10s.
I get a 10 and a 4.
All right. So you got 1 crit success. So you kind of turn to Izaya and you grab him by the scruff of his collar, and you just like give him like a little shake, and you're just like, "Stop being such a wuss," and you kind of like just like let him go. And Izaya, what do you do as you are being shooketh very rapidly by Wolf, who you usually pick on yourself?
I give him a blank stare. Just imagine my face looking like that of a ditto, just like that blank face and those eyes and everything.
Okay,
And I'm basically saying, "Stop shaking me. I just had breakfast. Don't make me have to barf on you."
fair enough, fair enough.
How did you just have breakfast when it's noon?
Well, there's plenty of there's breakfast, there's brunch, there's lunch, there's supper, there's dinner, there's the list goes on.
Kind of, Caleb kind of just like gives like a little roll of his eyes, and he's like, "All right, let's just go in." And the group just enters the thicket of the forest. As we enter, we see that very little sunlight breaches the tops of the trees, so it's very dark in the forest. Caleb sends out he sends out Natsu and has Natsu kind of like act as a light for us. Um, and we all just start following Natsu. We go in quite a bit of ways. We still hear some like hooting and like weird howling and stuff like that. And very soon, a very deep fog rolls in. So, I need everyone to give me a dexterity perception check.
So that's 3d10s for me.
For you, yes. For me, it is also 3.
And me as well, right?
I have to like find your character sheet because you have yet to make a.
I thought I did it. Did that?
Well, you made like a paper one. You didn't make a
You didn't make a
Google Doc
Google
one.
spreadsheet.
Perception
Yeah.
is one.
Hang on, give me 1 second. Gotta go find it. What? So your perception is 1. What is your dexterity?
My dexterity. Give me a second. My dexterity. Looking for it. I got uh, things that are in dexterity. I got uh, aerobatics, wait, acrobatics, and fishing. Those are the only decks I got, and I got sleight hand.
No, I mean like
Sleight of the hand.
dexterity in general. Like
Like the
it should be.
number.
It should be under
I got
proficiencies.
three altogether.
You have. Hang on. I gotta find your thing so I can like look at
Yeah,
it. Cause
like the girls here.
let me find your paper. Let's see here. So you have 3 in dexterity, and then you have what, the 1 in perception. So you actually have 4d10 roll.
40 10s coming right up.
Okay. So what did you guys roll?
I rolled a 24. I got
Well,
5, 9, 7.
yeah, 5, 9, 7, and what?
I got a 5, 9, 7, and 3.
Okay. So 7 and up are considered successes. So you got 2 successes. Okay. Wolf, what'd you get?
I got a 9, 6, and 10.
You got 2 successes as well. I got 1 success. So as the fog rolls in and stuff, we are all pretty aware of like our surroundings and stuff. And we stay pretty close together. Um, as we're walking in and stuff, the fog itself gets very thicker, very thick, and we hear We hear someone talking off in the distance. So after hearing someone talk, what are you guys thinking, or what are you guys doing?
I am looking at Wolf, and I said, "Shall we go check it out together, or do you want to play it safe and move on?" I'm going to go on Wolf on this, as he tries to be a little bit nicer.
Well, I feel Luna hop on my head, and I sort of look up and see her looking around as we hear the noise. And I go, let's go ahead and find out where this voice is coming from.
After you,
Okay.
Central Dome.
Caleb kind of just like shrugs and follows as he has Charmander like stay in the middle of the group, so there's some light in the fog. As you guys try to follow the voice, it leads you off the trail.
Ooh.
And as we are trying to follow the voice seems to be coming from all sides. Seemingly, this voice seems to be that of a female. What do you guys do?
I'm trying to call out her name. Are
Okay.
you out there?
Um, you call out her name. I'm assuming you're calling out Sybil, or not Sybil, but
Cindy.
Cindy. Yeah, I'm assuming you're calling out Cindy. And you don't hear a response except for a little hee 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 kind of
Oh,
thing.
is that
Um,
it?
and the hee hee, the little giggle comes from all sides again. But it seems to like disappear a little bit. What do you do after hearing that?
Uh, I am at this point. I'm a little bit. I have a little sweat coming down my brow, and hands are sweaty. And he goes ahead and pulls out his Pokeball off his belt and calls out Hunter. I mean, not Hunter. Spirit. Shut up.
The ghastly.
Because he's my Ghastly. Because I'm scared, and the only person I feel like that could help with the situation would most likely be my Ghastly.
Okay. So Ghastly comes out and it just has its like big ass smile, and it's like Ghastly and stuff as it looks around, and it's just like, hmm. Uh, Wolf, what are you doing?
I
As
am
you're
ac-
hearing giggles and stuff and fog.
I am actually watching Luna, seeing if she's able to pick up exactly where this sound is coming from, like if she can smell a certain scent that's different from the forest, or know the
Okay.
exact location of where the sound is coming from.
Give me a intimidation, or not intimidation, but a investigation and perception check.
Investigation, perception check.
Mhm.
So that's how many d10s for that one?
For you, investigation and perception. One. Looks like you're gonna give me 2d10s.
A 1 and a 5.
So no successes on that. So Luna is looking around, but she seems very confused on everything and is not able to pinpoint an exact location or get a scent. Um, the fog itself is masking all the smells and stuff. And not to mention, the forest itself is very rich with the flora and the trees and whatnot, the bark of the trees and everything. It's just very overwhelming sense of the forest. Um, as we continue to look around and stuff, go ahead and just roll a d20 for me, each of you. I'll roll d20 as well. What'd you guys get?
13.
Yeah, what?
13.
13, 5. Okay. So, unfortunately, myself and Izaya have failed this roll. And due to that, we lose our pool. As we are continuing to look around and stuff, Izaya kind of like freaks out a bit and kind of like backs up, and he like does like a quick turnaround to look and see if like he can like pinpoint whoever's laughing. As you turn back around, that somehow the fog has manifested to isolate you.
So I can't see anyone else around me. I can't even see you guys.
You cannot see anyone else around you, and me and Wolf very quickly realize that you are now missing. Wolf kind of turns one way, and Caleb turns another, and Caleb kind of like tries to like take a few steps into a different direction, and he like kind of freaks out a little bit and tries to like back to Wolf, and realizes that he too is now surrounded by a very dense fog and can no longer hear or see either. What are you guys doing?
I try to feel around, find a tree because I'm scared and everything, and I lean up against a tree and I'm just curled up,
Okay.
just scared. Ghastly's trying to comfort me, but I'm not budging.
Okay. Wolf, what are you doing?
I am looking towards Luna to see if she's able to pick up your scents.
Okay. So she doesn't. She's still the overwhelming sense of the force is still like overwhelming her nose and stuff, where she can't pick up. Here comes the fun part. Go ahead, both of you. Go ahead and roll d20 again. I will as well. I got a 2.
I got
I got a
another
9.
13.
All right, so this is gonna go for Wolf. As you have rolled the highest, you get the first encounter of what's coming, and it's already a predetermined Pokemon that I have had set up for this scenario.
Interesting.
As you are looking around and trying to look for both Izaya and Caleb, you and Luna are calling out and everything, and you hear the little giggle again. As you turn around and stuff, you can see like a weird shadow moving in the mist. What do you do?
I try and see what that shadow is.
Okay. You take a few steps forward to try to like reach out towards it, and it seemingly vanishes. And then, like out of nowhere, like the back of your ear, you hear another giggle. You quickly turn around, and Mischievous is just laughing and giggling and stuff as it like is like floating back and forth. And it kind of like gives you like a little like it sticks out its tongue a little bit as it's like floating and everything. And yeah, it's causing it's being a prankster now. So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to pull another Ash Ketchum on this one and go. Are you causing this fog and cause me to lose my friends, Mischievous?
Mischievous kind of like gives another giggle, and she like happily like floats in a circle and stuff as if saying yes.
I could actually use a Pokemon like you. You seem like a lot of fun and would definitely help entertain Luna since Luna's still technically a young.
Mischievous kind of just like gives you like a side eye, and it thinks for a moment, and then it quickly disappears, and then it reappears behind you again, and it kind of like just like gives like another giggle or whatever. As it does that, it kind of picks Luna up with like a ghostly force or whatever, and just drops Luna on the ground, and just starts giggling again and starts floating. What do you do?
Alright, Luna, you ready to battle Mischievous?
So you want to battle Mischievous?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and roll a d20 for initiative.
19.
3. You're gonna get the first move.
Since Mischievous is a ghost type, I can only use one move. That would really work on her.
Yep.
Use beat up.
All right. Roll.
12.
18. So Luna will give like a little nod as Luna tries to like jump up and start pounding with her paws, and Mischievous just like lets out like another like giggle as she
Quick note, beat up actually summons both my Pokemon I have currently and hits Pokemon twice. Because I
very
have
much
two
aware. I was
Pokemon.
gonna get to that. So as Mischievous dodges your attack, Smeargle kind of like comes out, and its tail is now painted black as it tries to like whiplash Mischievous from behind. Mischievous evades quickly to dodge the attack, but she kind of like just like looks back and forth, and she kind of like is like a weird like little sweat as she like looks back over to Luna and like lets out like a little psy beam. So go ahead and roll. 9.
7.
The psy beam connects Luna. Luna kind of like falls over a little bit as the wave of like psychic energies like hits her in the side. She stands back to her four paws and kind of awaits your command. Smeargle is just over there, just like whirling his tail. Yeah, he's doing his little thing. So what do you have them do now?
I tell Luna to use beat up again. 17.
14. So I'm gonna have to ask you to roll again since the first one was a success. One of your Pokemon's definitely going to hit. I need to know what the second one is.
3.
I rolled a 5. So Luna is gonna go in, and as Mischievous is looking over to Smeargle to see what it's doing, Luna comes in and it's like swats Mischievous across her ghostly face, and Smeargle tries to take the advantage to slap Mischievous with his dark type tail. Mischievous kind of like fades a little bit to evade the attack from Smeargle.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of like turns around to use like another Psybeam, but this time on Smeargle. 7.
9.
Okay, so the Psybeam kind of like starts shooting towards Smeargle, but Smeargle's like just dancing and stuff, and he just like moves his head, and it just like goes over, and he's just going being a little cocky Smeargle that he is. It is now your move.
I tell Luna to use beat up again.
All right, go ahead and give me the first roll. 7.
6.
Luna misses.
18.
Go ahead and give me the second roll. 13. Luna goes in to try to like smack Mischievous with both paws. Mischievous kind of like floats up to evade and just like giggles. And finally, Smeargle comes in with his like little dark type paintbrush tail and just like hurls it at Mischievous and catches her off guard. And she kind of like gives like a weird like little glare back at Smeargle, and she attempts to use hypnosis on Smeargle.
6.
That is a crit 20. So Smeargle is going to be put to sleep for the next round. It is now your roll.
Since Smeargle's asleep, I will only be able to attack once. So, use speed up.
Alright.
5.
4. So, Luna takes the advantage and goes in with another swipe from behind on Mischievous, and she's hit. She kind of like turns around. This one is a female Mischievous, by the way. She
Okay.
kind of turns around and she tries to use a hex on Luna.
I rolled a 10.
12. Okay. So the hex connects, and Luna is she just inflicted with like dark powers and stuff. So it's just I won't make any like status inflictions with hex on this. So it's just a damage point.
Okay.
All right. It is now your turn. And you will have to first roll to see if Smeargle wakes up. So give me a d20.
16.
Smeargle wakes up. I think it was supposed to be a d10, but it's okay. So Smeargle does wake up since you rolled above the threshold. And what do you have them do?
Use beat up.
I'm assuming beat up.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll for the first one. 13.
10.
Okay, Luna misses. Smeargle.
10.
13. That is weird. We both got double doubles. So, both Smeargle and Luna, or actually, I keep on calling Smeargle Pierre. Oh, wee. They go in with their attacks, and at the same time trying to like catch her off guard, and she kind of like just like vanishes at the last second, and both Luna and Pierre just like smack into each other. And Luna, or not Luna, but Mischievous appears above them and tries to release like a singular sight beam onto them.
17.
Ooh. Alright, so it misses since they're together. Smeargle or Gear kind of like pushes Luna out of the way as Gear like does like a little tuck and roll backwards, and the attack misses them both.
Use beat up again.
First roll, 11.
3.
Second roll, 7.
15.
Alright, so Luna tries to go in and swat at Mischievous. Mischievous kind of like evades, but Pierre goes in with his tail again and kind of like slaps Mischievous in the face with the ink of the tail. And there's kind of like ink in Mischievous' face. And she's kind of like flying about, like all kinds of like panicky. And she starts releasing sight beams everywhere. So, both Pokemon need to roll for the defense on this one. 4 on the first one.
6.
20 on the second one.
Oh boy.
10 on the second one.
So, the sight beams are going everywhere. Luna dodges one, but as a second sight beam is slowly going up and they're about to collide, Pierre jumps up and pushes Luna out the way, and Pierre takes the sight beam to the back of the neck, falls to the ground, and like struggles to his hands as he takes the damage. It is now your turn.
Use beat up again.
First one is
7.
2.
7.
Okay. 12 on the second one.
17.
So they both get up. Luna like kind of look over to Pierre as pushed Luna out of the way, and she's kind of like in his debt as she jumps up and just like cross chops him with her paws, or cross chops Mischievous with her paws, and Mischievous falls down towards Pierre, and Pierre just like grabs his like tail with the dark side, or dark type ink and everything, and just like slashes it upwards towards Mischievous, and she falls to the ground with swirly eyes. What do you do?
I'm going to attempt to catch it.
All right. Well, I would hope so. All right, Senor, go ahead and throw your balls. Well, I guess roll.
I just rolled, and it's an 18.
Well, that is a successful capture. The Pokeball. You throw the Pokeball at the Mischievous, and it kind of shakes 3 times, and then little boom of successful captureness has been stated or been confirmed. Both Pierre and Luna look back at you. Like Pierre gives like the thumbs up with his tail as he's like whirling it, and Luna is just like doing like a little like happy prance in place. What do you do? Also, note that the fog is slowly lifting after you have captured the Mischievous.
Uh, I will go ahead and give Pierre and Luna orange berries, and then call Mischievous out and give her a potion.
Okay. You do so. Luna and Pierre are eating their berries and heal up and everything. Mischievous is called out of her Pokeball, and she like looks around and she just starts floating and everything as you give her. You said a potion, correct?
Yes.
All right. She's healed up and everything, and she just kind of like looks at you and then looks over at Luna and Pierre, and she just starts floating around and starts giggling again. Seemingly, she was just having fun. At this time, you're actually close to the trails, and you have your Pokemon come back, except for of course Luna. Luna stays on your shoulder, but you go back to the trail and you kind of just like wait there until you can see the others. Moving over to Izaya. Izaya, you are currently on a different side of the forest, and the fog is starting to lift, and you're looking around, and you kind of hear a woman coming uh, fairly close by. So what do you do as you hear the humming?
I stand back up and use a tree to. Well, I use a tree to help me get back up. Just prop myself up, and I uh, tell Spirit, "Do you hear that?" And then we walk towards the humming.
Okay. Um, for you, go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me a dexterity perception check.
So, which one do I roll?
I gotta go find your thing again. So you should, I believe, you have free dexterity. And what is your perception at?
Perception is
I believe it's at
okay.
1.
My
So you'll
perception
give
is
me,
at 1.
yeah. So you'll give me 4 d10s, and you'll just tell me what each d10 was.
Let's see. I got a 19. I got a 6, a 2, another 2, and a 9.
So you got 1 success out of all those. Um, that's all you needed. That's fine. So, you and Spirit are looking around as you guys have realized that you have been separated from the group. You hear the humming, and Spirit kind of like looks at you and starts floating towards the direction. You follow Spirit. You come across a small little opening in the middle of the forest, but nothing is there. And the humming is louder. However, kind of like look up in the tree and you see this green-haired girl in overalls just humming as she's like reading a book, just chilling in the tree branches and stuff. What do you do?
I look I look up to see the girl that's and I say out loud, "Hey there, you might not happen to be Cindy, are you?"
The girl kind of like stops humming and she like looks down and she's like, "I am, and who are you?"
I'm Izaya. I'm from, well, not necessarily around from here, but I'm a Pokemon trainer, and we went to your gym, but we didn't find you there. We were said that we could find you here, so that we could uh, get in a Pokemon battle with you.
She kind of like gives like a faint smile and she's like, "Oh, a Pokemon trainer. So you've entered the regional gym challenge, as most trainers do." She kind of like gives like a little sigh as she like just begins to hum again. And then after about like another 2 minutes of humming, she realizes that you're still standing there. And she's like, "Oh, you were being serious. Okay." she kind of like she kind of like reaches up and like her hands like get enveloped in like some webs as she like is like swung like off the branch and slowly lowered to the ground. And she kind of like, as her hands are like still like held up, whatever, she looks up and everything. She's like, "Thank you, Ariados." And you look up and you see a giant red and black spider with yellow and purple legs, just like
What?
slowly like fade back into the trees.
It's like looking at
uh,
Sheena from Lord of the Rings.
yeah. And she's like, "So you want to challenge me, huh?" She's like, "Okay, but you gotta do something for me first."
Ew.
What is that?
She kind of like looks around and she's like, "Well, one of the baby Pokemon I was looking after kind of got away from me. I need you to help me find him."
Okay, what kind of Pokemon? Type of Pokemon, or if you know the type of Pokemon, what kind is it?
Well, that'd just take the fun out of everything if I told you.
I like her.
She's like,
You're in
she
that kind
says
of Pokemon.
that she says if she looks at you. She's like, "How much of me do you know about me?"
All I know is that you have a weird obsession of insects.
She says, "Yeah. Um. She's like, "Well, if you were smart enough, you would have looked into your gym leaders on who you're challenging and found out about them. But if you truly know about me, you should know what kind of Pokemon I specialize in, and you should know what they call me. And based off of that, you should find the little baby Pokemon that's running around here that I just can't seem to possibly catch myself."
Ah, I roll my eyes.
So, with that, you can go ahead and give me a intelligence. Um, Give me a intelligence and intelligence wisdom check.
All right, what should I roll here?
So let's see here. I gotta go back up to your sheet again. I just need to move your sheet. I need to pin your sheet to the chat. Um, let's see here. Your intelligence is 3 and your wisdom is 3. So you're gonna give me 6 d10s.
All right, I got 21. 2, 4, 1, 2, 6, 6.
0 successes.
Oh, me.
You get
Well
7.
then.
You had to get get a 7 or higher on either of those rolls. So, not a combined roll, it's just what they are by themselves. So, out of those 6 dice, you got 0 successes. So you don't remember exactly what the guard told you she was the queen of right off the bat. But you kind of like shrug as you're like, okay, fine, I'll try to go find this Pokemon. You look around for a little bit, and out of nowhere, you feel a little shock at the back of your leg. What do you do?
What was that?
That's naughty language, Virgil, but I'm fine with it. As you turn around, you see like this like little yellow creature just like quickly like zip off into the bush. What do you do?
I go towards. So I felt shocked, and
Mm-hmm.
I yelped basically, and like I would be like, "Well, oh, come here, you!" And I go to the bush and I try to dig through there, trying to look for it.
Okay. Go
And
ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me a dexterity exploration roll.
2010.
I did not pin your thing to the check like I meant to. Give me 1 second. I gotta scroll back up. I'm pinning this to the chat. So boom, just like that. Yeah, pin that. Thank you. Yours is. I said dexterity and what exploration. So you're gonna give me 4 d10s.
4010's coming right up. I got a 29. I got a 10, a 3, another 10, and a 6.
Okay. So you got 2 crit successes. So instead of chasing this thing all around, you actually come across it, and it is perched on the side of a tree, and it is about yay big, literally this big,
It's tiny.
and
I know what it is.
it just and you kind of like look at it weird, and you notice that it has like little like purple-ish dots, and it's yellow fur of sorts. And it just like looks at you and it starts spitting webs at you. What do you do?
I dodge it, and
Give
I
me a roll of d10.
roll 10. Coming right up. I got a 7.
Okay, so you dodge you dodge the initial webbing from this Pokemon.
Wait, is this a Weedle?
No,
Weedles
this is
aren't
not a Weedle.
yellow. Weedles aren't yellow.
This is not a Weedle.
Okay.
Uh,
It's a Gen 5 Pokemon, I know that much. That's as much as I'm going to reveal.
Well,
what do you do? Do you
I
try
go ahead
to
and pull
like
out my Pokédex and I scan it.
very good? I'm glad you did that. The Pokédex comes out and it starts talking and stuff, and it's like Jolted. And it starts giving you the information about Joltik and everything like that. I'm actually going to pull up Joltik myself.
Yeah, how do you spell it?
And Joltik is Joltik. And it starts telling you about that it is a bug electric type. And it's saying how it is one of the smallest of the out there. and so forth and all that stuff, and it's saying that it's native to the Unova region and everything like that. So after it tells you about Joltik, what do you do?
I go ahead and initiate a Pokemon battle with it. I pull out my. Let's see, since it's a bug, I'm going to go ahead and send out Hunter. I'm going to let.
You kind of cut out.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
What'd you say?
Me? Hello?
Try again. There we go. Okay, you're back now.
Oh, cool. So the question is, can I get both my Pokemons out to fight?
No, that only
Okay.
worked for him because of the effect that beat up does.
I go ahead and I'm not going to use my Oddish for this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my Gaslit. I'm going to use Spirit.
Okay.
So
All right.
I
So go ahead and roll a d20 initiative.
D20 initiative. I got a 17.
We got a 16, so you go first.
Alrighty. As I begin, I go ahead and Spirit to use Hypnosis.
All right. Roll d20.
I got a 4.
We got a 14. So Spirit goes in to use hypnosis, and the Joltik just kind of crawls up the tree to avoid. And it's very fast for a very small Pokemon. And then out of nowhere, it kind of just does a little 180 on the tree as it kind of lifts its head a little bit, and it just releases a quick little zap of spark. So it tries to use spark on spirits. It rolls an 18.
It rolls a what?
18.
I got 12.
So spark connects, and spirit is hit by some electricity, and it's just ow, what the hell? Oh, you're keeping track. I was like,
Yeah, I'm
what?
keeping
What
track
I do?
of. I'm keeping track of Joltik's.
Okay. So Spirit kind of shrugs off the spark because Joltik does put out a lot of power for a very small Pokemon, but it's still very young. It is now your turn.
Okay, I tell Spirit to use Sucker Punch. I rolled a 20. Bam!
We rolled an 8. So Joltik takes the hits and goes flying off the tree. And out of nowhere, Cindy comes up and interrupts the battle. She pulls out a Pokeball, and the Joltik returns to Cindy.
Well,
And she's like, "Oh, you found Joltik. Good job." She's like, "But why were you battling it? It's a baby."
The little sucker zapped me. I didn't know it was the. You didn't tell me what you were looking for. I just
Of
saw
course not.
Pokemon just.
Why did you call me the Spider Queen? I would have figured you would have put two and two together, especially with how small this one. Yeah, Joltiks are small, but this one's smaller than most Joltiks.
It's an abomination, is what that is.
She has Joltik come back out, and Joltik kind of crawls up on her shoulder or whatever, and it just stares at you. It kind of just does a little hop on her shoulder.
I'm just going to say
It's
one thing. You'll be singing a different tune when you see it evolve.
yeah. She kind of looks at you and back to Joltik, and she's like, I see. She's like, well, if you can beat me in battle, maybe we'll come to an agreement and stuff. But she's like, but you'll have to find me back at the gym. And after saying that, her and the Joltik walk off and head back to Telmont City. And she points over over a direction. She's like, the path is back that way, by the way. to you that you can go that way and find the path. So that gives you initiative to actually beat Cindy in a gym battle. So, what do you do now? As what? What did you say?
What? Did I get XP for that or what? I can't even tell.
Yes, I will
Okay.
say that you do get XP for that. Make sure, American Warbird, that you kept track of that your Pokemon. Each of them actually got an experience point for beating Mischievous. Um, so after she leaves and stuff, you take her advice and head off in the direction that she says that the trail is at. Um, Caleb is he's actually been he actually is like back at the beginning of the forest itself is where he ended up with fog as it lifted and everything. He looks around and he looks around and he sees like this green haired girl in overalls walking towards him. And he like looks and she like kind of like gives like a little smile as she's wearing glasses and she has this like little yellow Pokemon on her shoulder and it's jumping up and down. And she just like waves to Caleb and Caleb just like waves back to her and she heads off to Telmont City. And Caleb's just standing there like, what is going on? Nothing really happens to me because I rolled the lowest out of the group. The highest of the original roll, whenever we were all together in the fog, was going to get to encounter the Mischievous. The second highest was going to get to encounter Cindy, and then the lowest one was going to be found back at the beginning of the forest. Um, as you both have made it back to the trail, um, Wolf is a little bit deeper in the forest, so he starts walking back where he believes the beginning of the forest was. That's closer to Telmont City, and in doing so, he comes across Izaya. As you two see each other again, what do you guys do? What do you guys say?
I have this disappointed look on my face, and I say, "Yo,
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it."
I want to know now. What happened?
I give you this glare. You see, like, nothing happened.
That just makes me more curious, honestly.
The third time you ask, I slap you across the head.
Oof.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I guess you don't get to see my new Pokemon until we see Caleb.
Hearing that you actually caught a Pokemon and he didn't, his head just like does like one of those animated cartoon explosions where there's like a use of like a old like matchstick just like burnt to a crisp, just left in place. But he looks at you and he's like, "Are you being serious?" And he just shrugs and he doesn't even want to see your Pokemon right now. He's like, "I don't even care." He's like, "Let's go find Caleb." And so you guys start walking the trail and spend about another like 20 minutes or so trying to get to the edge of the city. Um, you guys are getting to the edge of the city, and you guys see Caleb just like leaning against a tree with Charmander or Natsu just chilling there. And he like looks up and he sees you guys, and he's like, "Oh, there you guys are." He's like, "Somehow I ended up back over here. I don't know how. I just did." He's like, I'm pretty sure I just met Cindy. She passed by and she had a little Joltik on her shoulder. That was kind of cute. But she seems to be going back to the city. So, what'd you guys do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Judging from
And
that reaction, I'm gonna say Cindy.
Caleb like looks at Izaya and is just like, okay? He's like, well, are you guys at least okay?
I pull out my Mischievous' Pokeball and say, I caught a Pokemon that was causing the fog that separated us.
Caleb like raises his brow and he's like, wait, what? He's like, what was it?
I call Mischievous out, and Mischievous just floats around my head.
And Caleb's like, he pulls out his Pokédex and he's like, gets it registered and everything. I'm assuming Izaya did the same and he's just like, fucking bastard.
I'm giving you the fuck you eyes. Alright?
love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Hey, to be fair, that was gonna happen to any of us that rolled that roll or that got that instance. So it's okay. It wasn't just an attack on you. It would have happened to either of us. That's how I have it written down.
Personal, okay?
Caleb's like, well, I guess we're all okay, and you got a Pokemon out of it, so all is good. But he's like, I think it's time that we head back to Telmont City to challenge the gym leader, you know?
Sounds like a good idea, but first I need to go to the Pokemon. Ghastly was attacked by a ferocious Pokemon. It was massive.
Oh,
So I had to tell that
okay.
story.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's go to the Pokemon.
I lean over and whisper to Caleb, judging by his reaction when you mentioned Cindy, I think Cindy got him.
Caleb kind of gives a shrug and he's like, well, he better get his shit together if he wants to fight her in the gym. But the group makes their way back to Telmont City. It's about another like hour and a half of a walk and everything. It's about 6 o'clock right now. Actually, it's about 7. As you guys get back into town, we head back to the Pokemon Center so Izaya can heal spirits. Nurse Joy looks at Spirit and she's like, "Oh, this cutie patootie took a little shocking, didn't it?" But Izaya kind of like looks at Nurse Joy and just like gives like a shrug, and Ghastly is just like curiously as it returns to its Pokeball so it can be healed. About another 20 minutes go by, and Nurse Joy returns and gives Izaya the Pokeball that contains Spirit. And Caleb looks over to Wolf, like, "Oh well, it looks like Spirit's good. So, are you good to come with us to the Pokemon Gym?"
Sure, I'll root for both of y'all to see if y'all beat Cindy.
Izaya, Nurse Joy has healed Ghastly. I'm pretty sure you heard since you have your earbuds in and stuff, right? Okay, good deal. So after we leave the Pokemon Center, we immediately head towards back to the clock tower. And at the base of the clock tower, the doors opened and we go inside. As we go inside, we see a big stadium arena in the middle of the clock tower. The clock tower is actually pretty big for a tower. As we enter, stadium is like covered with like trees and bushes and stuff like that. It's very terrainium esque, kind of like back in the original anime where Brock's gym had rocks everywhere. This gym has trees and bushes and stuff like that everywhere. And at the other side of the arena, Cindy just sat there reading her book, and she like looks up and she's like, "Oh, it's about time you guys showed up." And she's like, "I don't think I've met you." As she points to Wolf, she looks over to Caleb. She's like, "I saw you." And she looks over to Izaya and she's like, "I know you." And like on her shoulder, the little Joltik was like sitting there and it was just jumping up and down as it saw everyone like enter the room. She's like, she said, and she like looked at you guys. She's like, "So will all 3 of you guys be challenging me today?"
I will not be challenging you. I am not in
She's
the
like, oh.
challenge.
She's like, oh, okay. She looks over to Caleb, and Caleb's like, I'll be challenging you. And she looked over to Izaya, and she's like, I know you'll be challenging me. And so, Izaya, I need you to roll a D20 for initiative to see which one of us will go first in this battle.
I do have a request for you, TattedSith. Can you send me
Yes.
the pictures of the gym leaders for when we come across the gym leaders?
I definitely will. Yep, I'll send you the gym leader, and I'll send you their team in like one big shot.
Sounds good.
So, and bear in mind that I've already had these gym leaders planned out, and they each have a main partner Pokemon and stuff too. But I actually rolled a 1, so Izaya is actually going to get the chance to go first against Cindy. So as we all sit there, Izaya kind of like in a greedy manner, as he is very irritated from what happened earlier. He kind of like steps forward and just like assumes the position before Caleb even has a chance to speak up about saying if he wanted to go first or not. And Cindy kind of like stands up and like closes her book, and she's like, "Wonderful." And she pushes up her glasses and everything, and she's like, "How many Pokemon do you have?"
I have 2 Pokemon.
She's like, "Good. We'll both use 2 Pokemon then in this battle, and not like at the same time. Just like you'll have a Pokemon out, and if your Pokemon faints, you can choose another one." But no, she's like, "It'll be a 2-on-2 battle." And she's like, she ponders for a minute, and she's like, "Okay, I think I know which Pokemon I want to use against you." The judge or the referee comes up to the arena and looks at Wolf and Caleb, and he's like, "Please go have a seat in the stands." And there's like small, like little bench stands on both sides of the arena, and Caleb kind of like nods, and as he and Wolf go over there and sit down to watch. Luna is perched on Wolf's shoulder and just has her tongue out as she's like wagging her tail. And Caleb's like sitting there ready to take notes on what's going on. So with that being said, the referee looks at both of you guys and looks at both Izaya and Cindy and asks, "Are you both ready to do battle?"
I'm ready.
Cindy kind of gives like the thumbs up, and she's like, "You got it." And he's like, "Would the gym leader send out your first Pokemon?" Cindy gives a nod as she throws a Pokeball out, and out comes a Scolipede. Scolipede is a final evolution bug Pokemon that looks like a giant centipede.
How do you spell that?
Scolipede is Scolipede.
I pull a small Pokeball and enlarge it in my hand, and I summon Oddish. I bring out Oddish.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a D20. See who goes first in this attack.
I got 3.
I got a 6. So, Cindy's going to start the battle off as she's like, "Don't mind me if I decide to do the whole ladies first thing." As she like raises her hand and has Scolipede use Sludge Bomb. Scolipede just like releases like its like little like arms like along its neck and just go like throws out like a little sludge bomb kind of thing at you.
Ready?
I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 12.
So as
I
the sludge bomb is flying toward Radish kind of just like does like it has no arms, so Radish is like running around and it just like dodges like the sludge bomb, and it just like looks around and everything, looks back at you like, "Okay, what do you want me to do? You're my trainer. Do something."
am going to use the move poison powder.
Okay.
That's
Give
I
me a
will.
d20.
I got 4.
that's interesting
They
when
got an.
Scolopede's a poison type.
Well, I was actually going to play that into it. In fact, because it was a poison type, I was going to say that it would only do like half. Like it wouldn't even like poison it because it's a poison type. Like I would allow it to do like a single damage like, once, but it wouldn't affect it any more than that.
Okay.
But it rolled an 8, so it defended anyways. Um, so yes, Scolipede is a poison type. So poison type moves will not work really against it. But the Scolipede quickly like moves out of the way of the poison powder, and Cindy kind of like smiles as she tells Scolipede to use headbutts, and Scolipede just like starts charging towards Radish and attempts to headbutt it. Roll a 9.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. So Scolipede like rushes towards Radish, and Radish just jumps up in nick of time just to dodge the headbutts, and Radish kind of like lands on the left side of Scolipede. What do you have Radish do?
I'm going to have Radish use absorb.
Okay. Do a d20.
I rolled an 18.
We rolled a 13. So Radish, as Scolipede is going in for the headbutt, its head lands into the ground as Radish dodged, and Radish quickly used absorb to take a point away from the Scolipede. Cindy kind of like gives like a weird like little like smile as if she's intrigued by the thought that a Oddish could avoid her Scolipede, and she looked at Scolipede and told it to use Venoshock. And Scolipede like turned its head as it was like on the ground and just like turned and just like released a Venoshock from the side. Rolls an 8.
3.
So as Scolipede turned its head to release the Venoshock, Oddish or Radish is like caught off guard by the weird like contortion of the Scolipede's head and is hit by the Venoshock. It is now your turn.
All right. I'm going to use Stun Spore. I tell Radish to use Stun Spore. I rolled an 18.
I rolled a 2. So, with that being said, the Stun Spore does connect and it paralyzes the Scolipede. And Scolipede just stands there. So, I have to roll a d10 to see if Scolipede will break out. It does not. Scolipede is paralyzed this round, and it is back to you.
Okay. So the next, I'm going to, since it's a poison type, most of my attacks are poison, which is acid and poison powder. So again, I'm going to use absorb.
Okay. Roll a d20.
I got 16.
We got an 11. So, Radish now successfully having poison or paralyzing the Scolipede, absorbs another point from the Scolipede, and it just like sits there as it's like trying to break out of the paralysis. And it is now Scolipede's turn. It still is paralyzed. So it's back to Radish.
There's not much I can do except absorb, so I'm going to use that again. And oh my god, my luck. Can the gods of the dice just love me more often? I have gotten an
What?
18.
We got a 13. So Radish again uses absorb and takes another point from the Scolipede. It is now Scolipede's turn. It is still paralyzed. It is back to Radish.
Absorb! 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 Oh, I'm becoming wolf now. I'm always using that move.
Scolipede rolled an 18.
I rolled a 13. Crap.
So Scolipede is able to like move just in time, even though it's still paralyzed. It's able to move just a bit to get out of the way of the absorbing force that Radish was doing. And it is still paralyzed. I rolled a 4. So it is back to Radish again.
Absorb.
This is the most effective. This is the most effective like paralyzing I've seen in a while. All right, so use absorb. We rolled a 19.
Oh crap! Oh crap! 16.
Okay, so the absorb does not connect again. The Scolipede is able to evade it somehow again, trying to go through the paralysis. It's now Scolipede's turn again. Oh my god.
Still paralyzed?
It is still paralyzed. It rolled a 1. So it is back to Radish.
You know the drill. It's 11.
Alright. We rolled an 8.
There we go.
Scolipede is hit again. Scolipede has 1 HP left. It is yet to land it has landed a hit on Radish. It hit once. So now to see if Scolipede breaks out. Actually, Radish has gained a health point back because it absorbed health. So Radish is back to 5 HP already because it used absorb on. So Scolipede does break out of its paralysis.
We had a good run.
I was very impressed. Scolipede breaks free, and Cindy's like, "Scolipede, use Venoshock." And Scolipede does a weird little centipede thing as it just contorts its head again, and just blasts a Venoshock at you, and it hits an 18.
What did you say it was?
18.
Ooh. I got his brother, which is 8.
So the weird contortion of the Scolipede catches the Radish off guard again, and Radish just hits it by the onslaught of Venoshock. But it slowly gets back up as it's feeling very proud of itself, and it is your turn again.
I'm going to use Stun Spore.
Okay.
Crap.
Oh my god. What'd you get?
1.
I got a 1. Reroll.
Wow.
Hey, what comes after 1?
Did you get a 2?
Yes.
I got an 8 that time, so the Sun Spore Scolipede quickly evades, and then Cindy kind of tells Scolipede to use another Venoshock. Venoshock seems to be working perfectly fine for it. So roll a 3.
Gods help me. 14.
Radish is able to jump out of the way this time, and the Scolipede tries to follow Radish with the Venoshock, but Radish keeps on running at Mach speed for a Radish to evade.
That is a very fast Oddish.
It's a very fast Oddish. It is running for its life. It's terrified of this Scolipede. But it is your turn.
Alright, Oddish, use Stun Spore. I rolled a 15.
It rolls an 8. So the Sun Spore connects, and it just showers over the Scolipede, and Scolipede is stopped in its tracks as it kind of glares at Radish. Radish looks like it's triumphant, and now I have to roll to see if Scolipede gets out. Scolipede is paralyzed for this turn. So
that's good. That's my master plan: is to stun it so that way absorb hit it. All right.
So what will you have Radish do?
We're going to have to use again absorb.
Okay.
I rolled a 12.
We rolled a 10. So we rolled a 10. With that being said, you have defeated the Scolipede. Radish kind of quickly runs up to the Scolipede so it can't evade, and just absorbs the last hit points from the Scolipede as Scolipede just falls over, and Cindy is in pure disbelief that you defeated Scolipede. And mind you, use Absorb again, thus Radish is now back up to full HP because it only lost another life of 1 HP again. So Radish is back up to 5 HP. Cindy recalls Scolipede, and she kind of like glares at you. She's like, I didn't know Oddish were that strong.
My Radish is the strongest Pokemon that you will ever meet.
She kind of like gives a giggle. She's like, I think you're just over exaggerating. But she's like, my next Pokemon won't be as easy. He's much stronger. And she recalls Scolipede, and she takes out another Pokeball, and she throws it out. And out comes a Galvantula. Do you need the spelling of Galvantula?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Galvantula is Galvantula. Galvantula is actually the evolved form of Joltik. The Pokemon that you got shocked by earlier. So after she American Warbird, he's back now. So American Warbird, he has defeated the Scolipede, and Oddish is back to full HP due to taking the last HP points. Cindy is caught off guard by this and very impressed. She recalls the Scolipede, and she pretty much tells Izaya that it's not going to be as easy as Scolipede as she sent out a Galvantula.
Yes!
And
sorry about that. My wife wanted to rant at me about her job.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Everyone needs to rant about their job sometimes. But Galvantula comes out and is a very big yellow spider with a purple underbelly with blue furs sticking out of its body. And it just sits there, and the Joltik that is on her shoulder just like starts bouncing up and down again. And the Galvantula just like emits electricity from its body. So with that being said, roll a d20 to see who goes first on the attack on this.
Well,
We rolled
have
a
you
17.
told him what a Galvantula is to Joltik?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's why before I start the battle with it, I do want to take. Is it possible for me to get my Pokédex to scan it?
Yeah, of course.
At this point. Okay, so I scan the Pokemon, and I run it through. The computer is telling me what kind of Pokemon it is, and it's the evolved form of that little fuzzball
Joltik.
on her shoulder. Joltik.
Yep. Yep. It's a
And
bug electric type.
anyways, time to roll.
Alright, so we rolled a 17.
I rolled a 7.
Alright, so Cindy will be going first again. She quickly raises her hand and tells Galvantula to use Electro Web. And Galvantula raises its front little pincers and just starts shooting at Radish. We roll a 12.
I rolled a 15.
Alright, so Radish does his little speed dash to jump out, to run out of the way of the Electro Web. It is now your turn.
Alrighty. I will tell Radish to use acid.
Okay. 5. What'd you roll?
I thought you heard me. I rolled a 12.
Oh, okay. So, Radish quickly turns and just throws a big old clunk of acid at the Galvantula, and the Galvantula is hit, and the Galvantula just lets out a weird crackling hiss of sorts as Cindy looks at Galvantula and tells it to use Thunder Shock, and electricity emits from Galvantula as a thunderbolt just starts flying towards Radish.
Okay, I'll punch it
16.
with a 20.
Okay. Radish somehow does like a weird like little tuck and roll and just dodges the attack of electricity. It is now your turn.
Right. Okay, so I already Lugia that Pokemon. Let's use Poison Powder.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
3.
Hey.
Poison powder connects, and each turn I have to roll to break out of the poison, and if I don't, or eventually doesn't, it loses an HP. So, it is now Galvantula's turn. I have to see if it loses an HP or not. It does not. It rolled a nat 10, and it has broken free of the poison. Cindy looks at Galvantula to use electric web again, and it shoots out an electricity web towards Radish. 11.
I got 7. 7.
And just envelops. Apparently, his headphones are not working.
Oh no,
You're all
you
the
got,
7.
it's working now. You were like glitched there for a second. This.
Yeah, your camera froze up for a bit as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh, that's not good at all. I apologize. Well, what was the last thing you guys heard?
I said 7, and you
Okay.
said something and then cut out.
Yeah, you said something
Oh,
about
Galvantula.
his headphones when...
Galvantula rolled an 11, so the electro web connects. Radish is enveloped by electro web, but quickly breaks free as that was HP loss. So, what do you have Radish do this time?
I'm going to use Absorb.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
So Galvantula just like quickly scurries off to avoid the attack, and Cindy throws out her hand. Galvantula used Thunderbolt to start shooting from the backside of the Galvantula towards Radish. We got a 2.
I got 4.
Got very lucky. Radish somehow evades the Thunderbolt yet again, and it is your turn.
I would say use Acid. Rolled a 20.
Okay. You rolled a 20? Jesus. We only rolled an 11. So that takes down the Galvantula 2 points. And it is... Cindy is like caught off guard and is just like, what is going on? As the Galvantula is emitting like an electric like hiss of sorts. And she tells Galvantula thunder, and like a thunder cloud like starts to like emit of sorts above the area where Radish is, and a giant bolt of thunder just like comes down. And I know the logic of that. In our world, thunder is just the sound, but in the game, thunder is like a more destructive thunderbolt.
Lightning attack.
Or thunder shock. Yeah, I think it's like one of the stronger ones. But thunder comes down and attempts to strike the Oddish, or Radish the Oddish. Roll 9.
I rolled 11. The Oddish is strong with me.
This Radish Oddish is the most crazy Oddish I've ever encountered in any
Yeah.
game or D&D session.
This is weird.
Radish at Mach speed just dodges the attack and is just like, no, I'm not having this. So it is back to your turn.
Alright. I'm going to go ahead and use uh, poison powder. And I roll
Okay.
11 again.
Roll a 13.
Break my heart.
Galvantula will just run out of the way, and Cindy tells the Galvantula to use another electro web. 3.
15.
Good God, this is the most lucky oddish ever. So Radish kind of like does like a weird like jump and like does like a turn and just like goes through the netting of the electro web to evade it, and it literally, and it is your turn to have it do something. Also, your fly is undone.
Oh! I don't know why you're looking there, but thank you.
You were standing up!
You were standing up and the camera was right there.
I mean, at least your Johnson wasn't out.
Please,
Yeah.
edit those later,
Because
okay?
then we would have like used like a blur effect and like put in like a little like technical problems.
A little
Or
blur
do
would be
a
like this.
black box or something.
Yeah, small little black box.
Edit that later, guys. I want to try to use stun spore, but I rolled a 2.
That definitely didn't work. It rolled a 20. She kind of like laughs as you try to use stun spore on electric type, and she's like, "Wow." She's like, "We're losing to this guy."
I'm
And
just
she
in the
had,
background doing this.
and Caleb's just sitting there going. Caleb's like taking notes and stuff while Wolf is just like idiot. Cindy, she looks at Galvantula and tells Galvantula to use Thunderbolt, and a shock of electricity just starts flying at Radish. Jesus. 2.
What did you get?
Okay, so it connects, and Radish is hit by the electricity, and it is taken down to a roll of nat 1. So I believe Radish is at 2 HP right now.
What's the target at?
The target is at. I believe your target's at 2 as well.
So,
What's up?
American Warburg, what is Galvantula at right now?
What was
The 2 or 3?
It was at 3 when I last checked. Did it connect?
So Radish 2 and Galvantula is at 3.
I did take health off him.
I'm gonna say it's 2 and 2.
Okay, 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
Okay.
So,
It is actually Radish's turn right now because Galvantula just landed a crit Thunderbolt on Radish, and that took him down to 2 HP. So Radish's turn.
I want to use absorb, and I rolled.
You rolled a what?
I rolled a 9.
9. We rolled an 11. Galvantula kind of like jumps up in the air, and Cindy like quickly yells out for Galvantula to use a electro web again, and Galvantula just like spurts out like a bigger net than it has before, and it just starts falling down onto Radish, but it rolls a 10.
I rolled a 13.
This is the most, like I said, the most lucky oddish ever. I don't know, it's running at Mach speed and evading the giant net of electricity. It is now Radish's turn.
See, I rolled a 14, alright. And I'm going to use absorb.
You roll a 14?
A 14, yes.
We rolled an 18. Galvantula kind of like dodges again, and she tells it to use another electro web, and it shoots out another big electro web towards Radish. Rolls a 9.
Rolls a 20. this Oddish, man.
What is with this Oddish?
I don't know.
Oddish
It's
is
ridiculous.
broken.
I didn't expect him to. I thought he would have to use the second Pokemon by now, but this Oddish is about to fucking sweep her. Luckily, she's not using her ace Pokemon right now. Like, Galvantula's not even her ace.
I'm actually confused on what he'll do when Oddish actually evolves, because it won't look like a Radish anymore.
I know. But,
Good.
alright, well, it's Radish's turn.
I'm going to use Listen. And I rolled a 13. I don't like the look that he's making.
2.
Oh, man.
Radish spits out a quick little acid, and it just splashes like right in the face of Galvantula, and Galvantula just like freaks out, and she tells Galvantula to use another thunder, and Galvantula, like, its whole body just emits like a giant bolt of lightning and starts flying at Mach speed towards Radish. You gotta be kidding
Guys,
me. Rolled it.
Has Radish blocked this? Let's find out. What did you roll, my
It
friend?
rolled 13.
I rolled a 7. Sadly, Radish does not get to block.
Radish got hit by the thunder, and it is now 1-1. It's gonna be a close match. But Radish is hit by the thunder, and Radish like falls to like its one like little leg as it like looks up, and it has like a look of like determination in its eye. What do you have Radish do?
I'm going to have Radish use Absorb.
Okay.
16.
What was it? What the hell
Somehow.
is with this Oddish?
Somehow Radish has defeated a poison type and a Galvantula.
And they were fully evolved Pokemon.
Radish, I'm going to say, earned 3 XP points off that battle from both Pokemon, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
One for each Pokemon, and another one for sweeping her whole team.
Yeah, that deserves 3 points.
Cindy's at a loss.
Let's see here. Can I go against the other one?
Yeah, Cindy's at a loss, and she's just like, I have no words. I didn't expect an Oddish to be able to do that. My Pokemon are fully sure. Like the last Oddish I fought lost to my Scolipede easily. And she's talking to you, Izaya.
I'm just picturing mine and Caleb's faces going, what?
Yeah, Caleb's jaw is just like... So, what do you say, Izaya, to Cindy as she's just... What?
Always eat your vegetables. Oh, I'm sorry.
Cindy recalls the Galvantula and the little Jolt jumping up and down as it like looks over to her. She looks over to Joltik and she like gives like a nod. And she's like, and she goes to the center of the ring and she brings out like a little like metal container and she opens it and you meet her. Izaya goes to the center to meet her in the middle of the arena and she presents you with the web badge and she says, "Congratulations, you have gotten the web badge," and she hands you $300. So make sure you keep track of that money. She also looks at you. She's like, "Well, you definitely beat my expectation, above and beyond. If that's just what one of your Pokemon can do, I can only imagine what your second Pokemon is." And she's like, "I have a request for you, Izaya."
Sure, what is it?
She says, "This Joltik needs to be raised by someone with your capabilities. Would you mind taking Joltik with you on your journey?
Are you sure?
Of course. Joltik seems very amused to the idea of it, and Joltik kind of like just like turns on her shoulder and just like jumps up and down.
I'm picturing this
All
Shelter
right,
causing
Joltik.
problems for him.
All right. What do you say?
I pull a Pokeball that's small, enlarge it, and I said, and I'm going to say to Joltik, uh, "You want to come with me, bud?" I hold out the ball and hoping that he would tap it to get into it. How about it? You
Joltik,
want to travel with me?
Cindy kind of like giggles. She's like, "Oh, you," and she like brings up her own Pokeball and puts it towards Joltik, and Joltik goes inside that
Oh,
Pokeball, and then she just hands you the Pokeball. She's like, "You can't capture a Pokemon that's already been captured." She's like,
all right.
"But here's his Pokeball,"
Thank you.
and
Sorry,
and
this is my
so
first journey.
now you have the Joltik inside the Pokeball, and she's like, "Be sure to
Mhm.
take good care of Joltik." Besides the fact that you are still unaware of how attacks go, but she's like,
Sure.
"I know you'll train him well."
Make sure to come back someday and how much Joltik has progressed.
She's like, "Good, good. I hope to see him again one day as a Galvantula like mine." And with that being said, the referee like holds up like one of the flags, and he's like, "The winner is Izaya," and so forth. And Cindy like looks over to Caleb, and she's like, "We'll have our battle tomorrow. I think we all need to heal up and have some dinner." Caleb kind of gives like a nod and such, and I'm assuming Wolf does too. And Isaiah kind of like looks over and he's like, "Yeah," as he's looking to his Joltik, and we're gonna call it there, guys. Um, gym battles typically go longer than that, and that was actually a pretty long gym battle. Um, it blew me by surprise because of how Radish is, and I'm like, that is a ridiculous
Yeah,
Radish.
that was ridiculous.
But you have successfully gathered or obtained a Joltik, so be sure to keep track of that. I'm probably going to make you a Google Doc for my own knowledge and stuff. But that is going to do it for this
Realize that
episode, guys. Yeah, okay. That was intense.
my radish is a
That was
god.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I'm
like I said, yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you're watching, that you have the opportunity to nickname the Pokemon that we catch. So if you're watching this right now, be sure to leave a comment on American War's YouTube channel of what you want him to name his Mischievous and what you want Izaya to name the Joltik. That's I'm going to hand it over to American Warbird.
Alright everyone, that's this session of Pokemon D&D. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smack the notification bell, that way you get updated on any videos I post in the future. And like the video, and like TattedSith said, comment on what we should name our new Pokemon or future Pokemon for later on. In the meantime, see you in the next video. Peace.